Let's get this show on the road. Hope everyone's having a great week so far. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. And I hope you're taking care of yourself. It's supposed to warm up here in Chicago this week, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. That should be good news. We could always use some wonderful warm weather here. Weather is a good thing. Or warm weather is a good thing, I should say. Got that. Let's put that up. Just letting everybody know that I'm here so we can get this started. Guys, if it's your first time here, welcome. I hope that you will stick around and become part of the community. My name, of course, is Enigma, and I am a very lifelong member of the gaming industry in some form or fashion. I have been around a very long time in gaming. I worked in gaming retail for around 15 years, including running a Evil Empire store that we all know the name of for 10. So I know a lot about the gaming industry, and I do talk about that from time to time. So here's what I wanted to do today, and we might switch back and forth between a couple of characters. This is my Spore Warden Stabomancer, and I'm going to re-roll her. It says Mist Dancer is what they call it. I'm going to re-roll this character because I'm trying to find a good companion build, and I guess Clawbringer is not where it's at, and I don't quite understand why that is, because Clawbringer is is what I pretty much thought was supposed to be the build, you know. I've not played the Spore Warden in a while, but I did kind of happen across a Graveborn Spore Warden build. So what I want to do now is head on over to Brighthoof, and we're going to re-roll this character, and I'm going to raid my bank and grab some stuff out of it to hopefully make things easier for our girl here. She is level 40, so we don't really have to worry about anything crazy go nuts happening with her. But that's my plan, is to get that going and see what we can come up with here. So let's go ahead and reset skills. Oh wait, I have to beat the game to reset everything, don't I? Okay, I'll have to do that offline. No regard, we'll not worry about that right now. That's right. I'll have to do that offline because I don't want to mess that up. So we'll bring back the Day here. She's our character that's actually beaten the game. My Spore Warden is yet to actually complete the game, so we're still we're a little laxed on that right now, but we'll get it taken care of. Anyway, so I did farm a little bit yesterday, and I've just been doing random farms around, not really paying much attention to the stuff here. Oh, here, another one of you. I need to add that as a banned word. There we go. Get out of my chat. Don't care about that stuff. All right. We're heading over this way. But I've been just kind of running around and looking to see if I could find randoms. Most of the drops in this game are world drops. Okay. So, and even the dedicated drop sources, you can still get them as world drops. It's not like, I mean, I'm sure there are weapons you can only get from specific areas. I know that's true, but it's not like your play when you go into the White Rider, for instance. The dedicated drop is the Son of a Witch, but that's not necessarily where you have to be to get one. You can get one from any area. So let's see. How you doing, buddy? The dog is up here with me, at least for now. And of course, over the next tomorrow is our good old-fashioned first DLC drop is coming for Wonderlands here, and it's going to be a big one. They're going to add a lot of new weapons. They're going to add the mirrors, some new bosses, and things of that nature. I think what I'm most, but I did find out this. I've been talking about a 7th character class that they have announced. I have found out that that character class is only coming with the DLC package, complete the whole season pack, the season. So it's not coming tomorrow. Otherwise, they'd have announced it by now. So the chances of that happening are going to be pretty slim. Let's check this one. And I've just been farming the bosses, farming the obelisks around the world, seeing if we can get any drops out of them, seeing what we can get, and moving from there. From what I have understand about, there he goes. The dog has decided that discretion is the better part of valor and has vacated the premises. So let me readjust real quick. Kind of sucks that the first person to come into my chat today and talk to me was a dang big follows person. Screw you. Get away. All right. So. Oh, now I got a blanket. So now you want to come back up here. That ain't going to happen.
Did you bring me anything?
No.
No, that's fine. Your smile's all
So. I do think we're going to see, obviously tomorrow there's going to be, the patch that's coming out is going to have the new DLC. I think they're going to fix some stuff that we know is wrong with the game. For instance, the bank errors that we have, I think might be something they look at. And I do think they will also, just some of the graphic errors. I hope they get to fixing some of that stuff. This game was released incomplete or unfinished. I am 100% certain of that. And the reason why I say it is because all games are released that way these days. But the new story stuff, the new weapons, there's new cosmetics. There's going to be new stuff, new quests that they're adding. But the important thing is we're not going to, unless something happens, unless they are really playing coy with us, the new character class will not come tomorrow. That will probably, they're saying it's going to be out by the time the 4th DLC comes out. So anything that you might be thinking about as far as new weapons and new whatever they've done to Clawbringer will not probably be solved tomorrow. Because the new character class won't be out unless they rebalance it to bring some power back to the Clawbringer class. I would love that because I chose Clawbringer from the start, and I want Clawbringer to be a great class because I want my character to be powerful. But as it stands right now, the Clawbringers are not that great of a character class. So that's why, ooh, got hammered. Hammer. That's why when I leave today, I have some stuff I need to do outside of gaming today, which is understandable. But I also want to make sure that I need to find out where oh, I missed it. But I want to do Ribula. And it's down there. But I want to spend time doing that, and but I want to respec the Spore Warden that I've got, put Graveborn on it, and see what the companion build does. I've seen people put it on with the Hydras that shoot guns. From what I'm seeing, and this is something that they need to fix because they've not done it yet, and there's no reason it should be like this, is that the epic guns are actually more powerful than the legendary guns. And guys, that shouldn't be how it is. So I know Gearbox has been really ooh, there's a drop. Has really been trying to balance the game out a little bit, as I've talked about in previous streams. Oh, there goes my controller. As I've talked about in previous streams, Gearbox is trying to get away from the way they did Borderlands 3, and Borderlands 3 was their SMGs and their pistols were insane, and it was at the expense of most of the weapons in the game. Yeah, there's one or two good assault rifles, you know, there's one or two good shotguns, there's one or two good rocket launchers. There are dozens of good SMGs, and there are several chaotic. Several good pistols, like more than 10 good pistols. So you can really, really do some damage with those, but it's at the expense of everything else in the game. Is that you know, you're not going to get most of the shotguns you get. I mean, the Hellwalker's good, the Trevenator's good, the Anarchy can be good with the right build. There are good shotguns, but it's not like you're going to pick, and with the exception of the Hellwalker and probably the Trevenator, you're not going to pick up a random legendary shotgun and just start wreaking havoc in the game the way that you would with an SMG, and even the base game SMGs are still really good. So they're trying to get away from that, I think, and I understand why. They want to give value to everything and make sure that if you want to use an assault rifle, we have plenty of good assault rifles for you. That being said, because they did nerf shotguns a couple weeks ago. They gave all shotguns like a big damage boost across the board. I get that. You know, that's what you want to do. I'm gonna hang on. That's chaotic, so I'm gonna hang on to that. That being said, though, they've nerfed. I'm okay with them buffing. I'm not okay with them nerfing, and especially not at this point of the game, because I can't run Chaos Chambers with this character build right now. And I rolled this character a couple of different ways yesterday. I took and put Stabomancer on it for a little bit. I went and put Spore Warden on it for a little bit. No, that's wrong. I've rolled this character many different ways, and I'm not happy with what they've done. So I think they really need to fix. They need to stop nerfing, and they need to start. If they want to buff, that's one thing. To completely take a character class and take a gun the way that I had, and just kind of, yeah, whatever, we don't care. We're gonna nerf the Clawbringer, and we're going to nerf the gun that the primary gun that you're using. Your spell shot Graveborn. Can you really separate reality from fiction? Ability and spell damage are increased by 50% of your melee damage. That's an interesting piece of equipment. So from what I understand, that the purples are more powerful than the legendary weapons right now, and that's something they're going to have to balance. They're going to have to do something about that. I think we're going to see a big nerf coming where pixies in particular are going to be... I don't want to say the banhammer is coming, but it wouldn't surprise me if we saw some real pixies, a big pixie nerf, because pixies are OP right now, and I think that's coming to where they're gonna... Something's gonna happen to the pixies. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if with the hotfix, if we don't see some the new expansion coming out here, the new DLC, that if we don't see some real buffs coming as well. I don't think they realized what they had done. That's not it. Where the heck am I? I don't think they realized what they had done last week when they basically just said, yeah, if you use a Clawbringer and use liquid cooling, screw you. It's exactly what they did, though, is they nerfed everything about my character. And I don't think they realized what they were doing. I'm not saying they're going to turn around and buff something, but right now with this character build, I have no bossing weapons. Hey, good morning, Smithers. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. I don't think they knew what they were what they were doing. I don't have a bossing weapon with this character, so I can't run Chaos Chambers until one of the new weapons comes out. Now, I am positive we're going to see some OP weapons tomorrow with the new DLC. In fact, what might happen tomorrow, I don't usually stream in the afternoons here. Yeah, well, it wrecked me twice. Because it nerfed my Clawbringer, and then it nerfed the weapon I was using. So they hit me twice. I'm sure there's going to be new weapons that are going to be considered OP that are going to come out tomorrow. Because that's how Gearbox does their DLCs. I'm doing alright. You know, I hear we're going to get warmer too, so that's good. They're talking about being in the 80s by the weekend, so I'll definitely take that. Ow, that hurt. Something dropped. Exactly right, and they'll nerf those, and then a month later, the next DLC will come out, and all of a sudden, there's going to be a whole boatload of new weapons that are going to be OP until the next DLC comes out, and that's exactly what they do. And they'll do that all the way through the life of the game. Because if you look at the life of Borderlands 3, the best weapons in the game you can get through the last couple of DLCs. They weren't something that you just could pick up in the base game. They want you to pay to get those great weapons. Makes sense. It's not like it's a bad business model. Yeah, well, it's the free-to-play model. That's what it is. If you've ever played a like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes or Marvel Strike Force, they want people to pay to get these brand new characters that are going to be overpowered, and in 3 months they'll have a new character that undoes everything that the old character did, and that's going to be another pay thing to do. So it's not about what you have; it's about what's coming. Until you get to the end, and that's the way that they've always run this, and it's a good business model. I'm curious if this is going to have a 2-year lifespan the same way that Borderlands 3 did, though, and I don't think it's going to, because I think, for the most part, I think that the Chaos Chambers are a little shallow at this point. But from what I understand, the Chaos Chambers will consistently get new bosses and stuff as DLCs come out. Hey, Happy Cup, thanks for coming in. Thank you for the lurk. So it's very possible that we could see another year of content after the first Season 1 pass. But from what it doesn't feel as deep of an experience as Borderlands 3 was to me. And maybe it's because the game is overall smaller. I mean, we haven't even heard. Are we getting is the level cap increasing tomorrow? I haven't even heard that. I don't think it is. I played the daylights out of 3. I loved it quite. I loved 3. I know a lot of purists say 2 is better, and it is a better story, but 3 was just a more rewarding game. It rewarded you for farming. It rewarded you for playing, and you know, you could. It didn't take you. I was on Twitter yesterday. I was saying that the problem with this game is that I could farm this guy looking for one thing, which I'm not looking for any one thing in particular, but I could be farming for one thing and do it for 2 hours and get not one drop. And that makes for bad, you know, content when you're streaming, I think. Come on, baby. This is the gluttony pistol I'm using right now. Yep, thank you for the lurk. I get it. Work comes first. If I had a job, I wouldn't be here right now. Alright. So we did get a drop there, guys. Let's go see what it is. Again, I'm not really farming for anything in particular. I'm just kind of doing world drop stuff. I'm seeing what's there. I've been... Oh, crap. I have been farming... Yesterday I did farm the same bosses a couple of times, and they were not rewarding. So I figure if I just run around and farm different bosses, we'll see what happens. And I do want to keep my eyes open for Hydra stuff. The Shadow Fire of the Carver. I don't think that's a really good gun, but who knows. It's not chaotic, so I'm going to sell it. And I am going to be on the lookout for something for Graveborn that has a buff to Hydra heads. I think that'll be very helpful. That'll be very, very helpful. So, housekeeping stuff, guys. Let's go over where we are as far as... everything goes. It looks like we've already smashed the 900 Twitter followers goal I set. In fact, I might hit 1,000 by the end of the month, and I thank you so much for everyone who has taken the plunge there. I do update my Twitter every day. I do more than just say I'm here. I do talk to people. I do try to interact. I'm not the best at Twitter. I won't lie and say I'm like this Twitter aficionado. I'm not, but I do try, and I am getting better at it every day. At least I think I am. As far as Twitch followers go, we're pretty behind on that. I wanted 500 by the end of this month, and we're about 438, so I'm still 62 followers away from that happening. I do appreciate everyone who's followed me this month so far. I don't think for one second I don't appreciate it and notice when you guys I do it. I do. And thank you for taking the plunge on that. Subs wise, we are, of course, which is the way it works. I completely understand and get it. Getting subs is the hardest part because that's the only thing you have to pay for. I am currently sitting at 16 subs for the month, I believe. And my goal of 50 subs is to get Wimble Roses played. We have a lot of work to do there if we're going to get that going. And I have committed that the money I make off of streaming will indeed go towards improving the stream. And I just saw today, and I'm sure it's been out for a little while, but I'm behind a little bit, and I should have known this when I saw that I got this capture card on sale that I am using now, the HD60S Plus. There's a new upgraded version of a capture card which allows 4K streaming with really good resolution, and I know I committed to getting a better camera first, and maybe I will do that first, but I do have that capture card on mind as well, to help improve the stream. Everything that I do make off of streaming, I want to use to improve the stream, because I want this to be a professional stream. I want people to say, hey, have you seen Enigma? He's playing Wonderlands or whatever, and you know, go check him out. Nice guy. He talks to people. Not a jerk. He just plays one on TV. No, I try not to be a jerk. So I always want to improve, and I always want to get better and learn things. So, and I take criticisms, valid criticisms, very seriously as well, guys. So if anyone has, like the other day, a buddy of mine came in here and said I should have more channel points for awards, and I said okay. And I went on Twitter and said, what do you people want to see? And there's some stuff people want that I'm going to look into and see what we can do to improve the stream and make it better. That is chaotic. You can tell by the thing on it. Let's see what it is. It's all coming back to you now. That's a shotgun. Let's see. It's a chaotic shotgun. Tedior. First of all, it's not automatic. So let's see what the Tedior thing is. Oh, it's like a sword. And it hurts you. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll put that in the bank just in case. It is a legendary chaotic. I am hanging on to all that stuff. Oh, I also got this weapon the other day, and that is the Thunder Anima. Last week, with the hotfix, they did add a couple of weapons, and there were a couple of assault rifles. I have one, the quad bow. I've used that past couple of days. Not that great of a weapon. The Thunder Anima is the other one. And I need to use that more and see what it can actually do. But I did get that yesterday farming, so we'll continue seeing what that can do. Anyway, so if you can get me the follow on Twitch, I would appreciate that so much. I am trying to get to 500 followers by the end of the week. And then, of course, if you can sub, that's the best way to support the stream. Money goes right back into making the stream better. I want to get a new camera. I do want to get the new capture card because it'll make the stream look better. And I do want to also probably upgrade the microphone at some point. Although
Let's go out and burn something down.
my friend Grim told me the other day that she
Some skulls.
thought my microphone sounded good. So not bad for $15 off of Amazon, you know, less than $20. So we'll see how that turns out. So microphone is last on the list, and I know people have these nice big elaborate setups, guys, and I don't have that yet. I'm literally a guy playing on his couch, and I'm not saying I won't upgrade and do things to make the stream better with lights and things like that. But as of right now, guys, this is my game room, and we watch TV in here every night, and I just don't have the big soundproof and all the neon lights and all that like a lot of other people do. We'll see if it happens someday. But I want to improve the quality of the stream before I'm worrying about all the aesthetics. I've spent enough on these arcade machines behind me for aesthetics that I don't need to worry necessarily about neon lights and all that good stuff just yet.
Two things in one other thing.
But I do want to improve that at some point. Plus, you know, there's a possibility, a slight possibility right now that we could move. It's a very small possibility. And if that's the case, I think we'll probably look more at getting me a proper game room where I can actually have a setup the way that a lot of other people do. But for now, I'm much more interested in providing the best content that I can at the best quality that I can, and then going from there. So the Gluttony here is a pistol made by Tedior. It was buffed last week, and it is one of the better guns in the game right now. It's probably the best Tedior gun in the game from what I've heard. And it's called the Gluttony, and the red text reads Equivalent Exchange. If you are a old school, I can't believe I'm saying that Full Metal Alchemist is old school, but it is. If you're an old school anime fan the way that I am, you'll know that that is a Full Metal Alchemist reference. equivalent exchange, of course, is the theme of the show. Can't have something without giving up something equally in return. And gluttony is one of the homunculi in that show, so. Oh my gosh, didn't even see him. Something dropped. Let's see what dropped. Maybe we'll get something good there. Oh, and there's a mimic. Mimic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Smithers. I do appreciate that so much. I apologize for not looking at that earlier. When I start getting on a bender about talking about content, talking about references and stuff, I lose my stuff. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Doesn't mean I don't want to get better, though. I am never satisfied with what I'm doing, so I always want to get better. And I want to learn everything I can from people, too. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Let's see. If I'm here, then that means...
Alright.
What does that mean?
That is Chaotic Dragon Sacrificial Skeep of Confidence. Lightning and Clawbringer power, keeping it real. 11% to all damage dealt. Health is under 50%. Summon a Sacrificial Skeep. Interesting. I'll keep it because it is chaotic. We'll see what happens. I've got some pretty good drops down here. I'll stick down here for a few minutes. Tommy! How you doing, buddy? Tommy's a buddy of mine, guys. Good streamer. Really good streamer. Very talented. I'm sure he'd appreciate it if you give him a follow and watch his stuff sometimes. You know, of course, if I'm not here. But tomorrow I might do an afternoon stream. Just because of the new DLC. Basically, I didn't mean to sell that.
Positively glowing.
Gearbox releases their stuff on PlayStation basically about a 10 or 11 o'clock my time. And I'm usually almost done with my stream by then. So I want to, I think I might do an afternoon stream for a couple of hours tomorrow, unless something pops up to see what we can come up with in the new DLC. Get some of the, see if we can get some of the new weapons and some of the new cosmetics. Although I'm digging the way my Clawbringer looks right now. She's pretty awesome. She's pretty awesome, you know what I mean there? She's good. She's good. She's got the red scale thing going, and she's got the cape and the hair. Pretty awesome stuff. And I've had some pretty good drops down here, so we'll see. We'll take a look here and see exactly what I'm able to drop for me. I am doing just fine, Tommy. Thanks for asking. Happy Wednesday to you, bud. I hope you're doing well, having a great week. I'll be doing great when they buff my character back instead of nerf her. I nerfed my character twice last week. It makes it harder for me to do Chaos Chambers. Got you. Got you. But I will, today I'll probably offline play around with that Spore Warden Graveborn build that I found. And see if I can get that working. And I need to beat the game with the Spore Warden. And, get all the, and do all the lucky dice and stuff. We need to do all that. I might, do some of that on one of these days. As far as newer games coming out, guys, I did hear that, oh gosh, that hurt. Shredder's Revenge is coming out this summer. Ninja Turtles game. I really want to play that. So do not be shocked if we stream that at some point. And of course, you know, Cowabunga Collection. I will stream all those games that I can No drops. After good luck, we've got no drops there. Got no drops, and that sucks. Because you gotta have some drops. Drops in this game are a lot. That's another thing they need to improve upon. The drop rates in this game is they make it look like you have a lot of loot luck. Man, I've got 35,000 loot luck, but it has helped me 0, actually. It has not helped me at all. I don't know if the loot luck is broken or what, but I am not getting any sort of bonus. I'm still... Basically, I don't know what the legendary drops are percentage. I know there's people out there doing the calculations on that. I saw this guy the other day. I was looking at him reviewing a weapon, and he was actually doing the calculations himself on a calculator for damage, and he was pretty close. So good for him. He's got a lot more. That's pretty good dedication. But our character didn't know I had that. That's chaotic. I don't want to keep the. I want to keep the chaotics because they're the second best. But if a oh, thank you for coming. Thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that. If let's just say that a legendary has a 5% drop rate from a boss that you're farming, okay? If that's the case, then of that 5%, there's a 28.5% chance it'll drop for me chaotically due to my loot luck and everything. And there's a 1.5% chance that it will drop as volatile, which is right now the highest character class, or the highest rarity in the game. And they are exceedingly powerful. 40% better than the typical base game drop. Unfortunately, I've only gotten 2 volatile legendary drops since I got to Chaos 20. And that's pretty insane. And they're both spells. I've got no weapons. I've got no shields, wards, sorry, or anything of that nature dropping for me at that rate. Have dropped for me yet. It's been a couple of random spells. I'm sure Spell Shot will like it when I make a Spell Shot. But as of right now, I'm not pleased with the drop rates in this game. They've been very, very poor. And I know they're doing it to add playability. But at the same time, for someone like me who's trying to create content for everybody, if I'm not getting any drops, what's really the point? And not that I would do this, but it adds credence to people who want to make modded weapons. Quite frankly, I don't use modded weapons. I don't like it. I think it cheapens the game quite a bit. But if the game right now is insanely difficult for my character, I can't, like I said, I can't run Chaos Chamber right now because they took away my bossing abilities. And I'm not getting the drops to help me do it. I'm not getting any volatile drops. If I get a volatile White Rider or a volatile Gluttony, I would probably be a lot better off. I would be a lot better off. Because it'd be doing more damage. But I'm not getting any drops of that. And then tomorrow, supposedly they're adding Ascended. And another rarity. So volatile will no longer be the weapons anymore. There'll be 2 other rarities that they put in. And personally, Gearbox, if you're listening, and I'm not complaining, but I would have made the rarities in different colors. All the legendaries in this game are orange, and I get that, but I would have, instead of doing that, I would have added, you know, your chaotics. I probably would have done like pearlescent. Then go pink maybe, and then, you know, red or something. They're all legendaries, and it kind of makes them harder to differentiate between them. So, especially your volatile. Like, that's chaotic. And I do get chaotic drops of lower rarities, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so we have a blank slate. It's an experience boost, and then we did get a sword ranger. We actually got a sword ranger earlier. Okay, but it's not legendary. And I've got a couple of blank slates in the bank, so I'm going to take that and get rid of it. I don't need it. From what I've seen, the drops for your armors, your rings, and your amulets are nice to have in chaotic form, but they're not 100% necessary to get the full benefit of a buff. So, for a price. But I do want to, you know, I played Borderlands 3 a lot, and people would come into my stream and tell me, you know way too much about this game. And I do. I do. I kind of would like to get there with this, but it's harder to do because there's not as many bosses, there's not as many dedicated drop areas, and there's not as many... Gearbox is not taking a scalpel to anything so far in this game. They have taken a hammer. And I think that's going to be a problem for them in the long run, that if every time they see something they don't like, that they automatically just put the ban hammer on it 4 or 5 days later. That's going to be a problem for them. Because as you know, Smithers said earlier, there's nothing worse than if you log in and see the hotfix come in, and the next thing you know, you can't play the game because they took everything away from you. That's exactly what happened to this Clawbringers. They took away the awe skill. They took away my the liquid cooling. And you know, the stupid thing is I'm not really mad that they nerfed the liquid cooling. I'm mad there's nothing to replace it. There's no good bossing weapon for this character right now that I can get or I can use. And it's Clawbringer is apparently... someone's got something against the Clawbringer at Gearbox, and I think it comes down to... There's going to be a shoot-a-drop here before too much longer, and I think it's going to have to do with that 7th character class. Because they already know what the character class is going to be. They're testing it, and they're getting it ready and seeing what they can do. I'm not stupid. I know what they're doing. And there's something to do with that character class that they didn't like with the Clawbringer. And we might be 6 months away from that character class coming out. We might very well be. But I think they saw something they didn't like. Or with a weapon. There's a drop. It's a standard drop, though. I think they saw something in one of the new weapons or something with the Clawbringer that they knew last week was not going to fly. And I'm just kind of waiting to see what that is. Don't know idea. Have no idea what it is. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. But at this point of the game, I'm looking for volatile gear, chaotic and volatile, especially volatile. I would love to have a volatile gun, you know, especially something that's got some use to it. If they give me a volatile gluttony, that would be great. Inflammation of daydreams. But you know, I'll probably nerf the gluttony before too much longer. Who the heck knows? That's my problem with Gearbox right now. I'm not like mad at them. It's not like this. I'm gonna go on this huge rant about it, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm like stomping mad, because I don't get stomping mad at other people anyway. I get stomping mad at myself, but but that's beside the point. I think that. I just don't think that you can weakly take a hammer to what you don't like in your game. it's one thing to come in and kind of go, yeah, you know what? This isn't working the way we intended. Let's just take a little bit here. Let's take a little bit there. It's another thing to say to someone in your brand new game that's been out for 2 weeks, we know you've beaten the game. We know you've managed to get through all the content so far, and you're farming for good gear and stuff. We're going to take that ability away from you, and that's what they have done to this character. And that's another reason that I need to get another character to this point with loot luck and everything else. So my Spore Warden, I'm going to see what we can figure out with, because I have a level 40 Spore Warden that's not beaten the game yet, and that'll be what I probably work on offline to get her in the same position as this character. Because I've gotten all the, well, not all the scrolls, but all the collectibles with this character, all the puzzles, all the loot dice, all the bonuses I have managed to get with this character. So I'm at the maximum there is right now for what the base game had to offer. As far as loot luck and all that stuff goes, I have all those bonuses, all the shrine bonuses, all the little extra bonuses, all of that. I need to get another character up here. And it's my goal to have a character of every build, every kind of character, all 6 character classes. I want one at a base of level 40. So okay, no drops there. Also working on our mythic rank too, though, guys. If you're not aware, let me go over that with you real quick. Once you reach the character level, the level cap, as of right now, the level cap is 40. They could always change that tomorrow, but right now it's 40. And I don't think I think they have gotten, they'll increase the level cap, I think, but I think they are waiting to do it because we're still trying to figure out the builds that we have right now. And if they increase the level cap, let's just say they increase it 5 or 10 levels to 45 or 50, then we have to re-roll all of our builds and figure out what the heck works to be the new meta. So I know they're waiting to do that, and who knows, maybe they won't do it at all, but it'd be the first time they've not increased the level cap. But that's once you hit the level cap, you get to go and you get a new experience bar down there at the bottom of the screen. The yellow bar is completely filled up down there at the bottom, and that is where your basic experience points would go. Well, now that that's completely full and I'm at the level cap, there's a pink bar above it. And as you gain experience on that level, you get mythic ranks. And then there are 4 different trees for mythic ranks. And when we get one, I'll show you what it is. And each one of those trees, you can specify where you want to put points into. Most of them have caps on them, but the end of them, they do not have caps. So once I'm trying to, everything that has caps, I'm trying to cap out before I get going on everything else and just completely nose load everything into what was I saying? The gun damage and spell damage and ability damage and things like that, and melee damage are I think the 4 cap stones for every one of those trees. Obviously you want to buff those as much as you can, but I don't want to get lost in the fact that having a faster reload times and having more lightning and poison damage and fire damage, that stuff is needed. So I want to make sure that I want to have all that stuff maxed out before I focus on the good stuff, because we're going to need it. But we'll do I think my gun damage I put a couple points into, and I've buffed it 6% more gun damage. And that is, from what I've seen, that doesn't have a cap to it. So I will constantly be able to continue put points into that once I am done with everything else that I'm trying to do with that tree. But basically, there's one tree that has it's basically for companion damage. There's one tree for spell damage. There's one tree for guns, and there's one tree for melee. And as you move through the caps on all of those, you'll see that, like, my companion damage is as high as it's going to get with the mythic tree, because I've hit the cap on that. I can't get any higher. And I'm working on elemental stuff on 2 of the trees. One tree is melee. I don't use a lot of melee, but I'm going to max it out anyway because I have to. And then on top of that, I want to, and then on the other tree, you know, guns to me are the most important thing. I think that, by the way, I think the next character class, the 7th character class, is going to be a gunner of some sort. I really do. I hope they do that. I'm kind of disappointed there's not a gunner class right now. There really isn't. They've got melee classes and spell classes and companion classes and all these different classes. There's not one pure gunner class. And chances are it's because of Moe's in... the closest thing they have to a gunner class is probably Spore Warden, but it's still not a gunner class. Moe's in Borderlands 3 was... When they first brought her out, she was insanely overpowered. And they had to nerf the daylights out of her to get her be more in line with everybody else. And then they nerfed her too much, so they had to bring her back some. So it's, you know, her Iron Bear was insane. And then when they introduced the 4th tree and she had Iron Cub, she became even more insane. But anyone who's seen my Moe's build on Borderlands and watched Borderlands 3 and has seen that she uses an SMG and she reloads about once every 10 minutes, it seems like. I just pull the trigger and she's off to the races. I think they're trying to find a way for that not to happen with the gunner class. I hope it's a gunner class. I really do. If it or something, or at least something that is better for Clawbringer, because Clawbringer is kind of on an island by itself right now. Every other class seems to have its a special pairing. You know, I would think that Berserker and Stabomancer would probably be a match made in heaven. You know, Graveborn Spellshot a lot of people like. And then Spore Warden is a good secondary class for a lot of different classes. You know, my Spore Warden is a Stabomancer right now. I'm going to change it to Graveborn because I want to see what that companion build I found does. But I can see Spore Warden being a very good support class for a lot of different classes. The problem with the Clawbringer is it doesn't really have anything to complement it, and if they want to do a companion build with the Clawbringer and the hammer, they need to do that. But I don't know quite what their end game is for the Clawbringer at this point. But they need to do something, because at this point it kind of seems to be that the Clawbringer is on an island by itself and doesn't really have anything to complement what it can actually do, while every other class seems to have something that is either a complementary class or complements, or can be complemented by another secondary class. So we'll see. As we get more into the minutia of what they're going to do for the game, I'm sure we'll figure it out. But that's what it seems like to me, is that there's not a lot to do with the Clawbringer right now. And Well, there's a legendary drop, but it's not... I don't believe it's a the kind of drop that I want. Dang it!
Thanks for taking one for the team.
Let's see, what is it? It's not anything. Clawbringer power goes down, lightning damage. Yeah, I'll probably get rid of that. It's for Clawbringer. I have a Clawbringer. And I think we're also going to see something to do with, you know, the enhancements or enchantments. They're going to have to, you know, there's some good ones out there, but a lot of them I don't think are that good. So we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing with the enhancements as well. They don't want to get in the same position they were with Borderlands 3, where they had everyone basically was rolling for the same 2 or 3 character classes, and they were not character classes, enchantments, enhancements, anointments is what they were called, and they were just an insanely good, and everything else no one cared about. I know URAD was really big for a while. Consecutive hits was really big for a little while.
Finally, that cooldown took ages.
Alright, we farmed him quite a bit. Let's go to another area to farm.
My faithful minion has arrived.
Let's see, where do we want to go next? I've done Tangle Drift quite a bit. Okay, let's do Wargtooth. I don't know what the dedicated drop is for Wargtooth, the obelisk there, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, because that's the kind of guys that we are.
Finally, that cooldown took ages.
I'd like to be able to find the dedicated drop for the Gluttony and see if I can get a volatile version of that. This is a chaotic version of the Gluttony. But now that I like it, they'll probably nerf it tomorrow, but we'll see. I need a bossing weapon like crazy, and there's just not anything for this character class that is good for bossing. Okay, down they go. I don't know what that thing is doing. There we go. We're about to get our new class of... Oh, there's more crabs. Okay. Another one. Okay. So your purples and your greens and your whites can also run chaotic and volatile, but I guess if I find a purple weapon that summons hydras, I will have to look at it and keep it for this Graveborn Spore Warden thing I'm going to try this today. We'll figure it out as we get going there. And there's another, let's see, where is it? Okay, this is the right way. There's another crab over there. I can see him. Basically, Gearboxes doesn't want people breaking their game, and I think that's where we see a lot of issues coming in. Is they've been known... I know with Borderlands 3, one of the bigger YouTubers that plays Borderlands found a Amara build that they call Game Breaker Amara, that basically she could just go in and devastate everything. And Gearbox nerfed it. They called it out specifically and said, we have to, this is not working the way we wanted it to, and Game Breaker Amara is the reason that we're doing this. Which, hey, good for that YouTuber. He got a lot of publicity based off of that. They specifically called out his build.
Just like I told you.
Those hammerheads are nasty, guys. They are nasty pieces of work.
Found some of the red stuff.
That's chaotic. Oh, that's volatile. Did you see that? That's my first. That's I have a volatile white. That is at least chaotic. I don't know what it is yet. We're gonna see it in just a second.
Oh, that's fine. Your smile's all I need.
And we got our perk. When we're done with this, we're gonna take. Oh, come on, jerk face.
Hey, I'm better already. I can cast again. Heads up, got company.
Okay, where's our?
The best.
I was gonna say, where's our big bad out of the obelisk? There he is. There's dogfish back there too. Down he goes. Let's get that dogfish down and then we can loot. Alright. Oh, there's another one. I see it.
This is a bloody detailed map now that I look at it. How the hell did they chart all this?
Alright. First things first. Here's our mythic rank. So we're at Druid on this one. These will all light up when the next point. It basically goes in a rotation. Druid, Archmage, Blade Master, Deadeye. And we'll just continue going in that order. So Druid, we have to put one in this. As you can see, I have already maxed out Loot Luck. I've already maxed out Companion damage. And I'm now working on Lightning damage. And then I'm going to do Poison damage after that. And then we're going to do probably Attunement and Wisdom. I'm going to do all that. And then we will worry about ability damage being our next thing that we are... that's the capstone. I don't think that has a cap to it. That's the capstone of this tree. I could put ability points in there right now, but I want to make sure I get all these things capped off first, and then that way we can focus more on that, because these are all valuable. You know, if you look over here, over at on our right side, my companion damage is 30% higher than it should be because of I've capped that out. My lightning damage right now is at 10.5%, and now it's a little higher. It's now at 12%. And if we look at Archmage over here, I've already capped out frost and fire damage. I'm doing 30% more frost and fire damage than I normally would because of this build, because of what I'm doing here. Deadeye, which is the one I really want to focus on. Fire rate is high as 20%. My reload speed is higher by 20%. I'm doing magazine size right now. I'm going to do gun handling. I'm going to do... Yeah, I will do movement speed. Although that's... God, 25. And dexterity. I'm gonna do all that. I want all that stuff to really... I want all the stuff I can cap out to be capped out. Because they are valuable. Before I go into gun damage, because I want to put everything into gun damage. And between you and me, I might just go do gun damage anyway, but I want to make sure magazine size and reload speed and all that stuff is exceedingly valuable to have. Alright, here's our drop. What did he drop? That is chaotic. Eagle Eye Sacrificial Skeep of Confidence, another Skeep. And that's a Spore Warden Skeep. We'll keep it because it is chaotic. I keep all chaotic and legendary, or chaotic and volatile legendaries, just in case. I will not mess around with some of the other stuff, though, that they pull in there. I just want to make sure we're keeping our ammunition high. I'm not going to loot that. It's fine.
What the best place to bury me loot is?
But that's how the mythic rake works. Now, our next one will go into the next over there, which will be wisdom or whatever I'm working on. Then we'll go down, and then we'll go over to Deadeye and back up. And it just rotates over and over again until you basically, for infinite, I suppose. I don't know what the cap is for the damages at the end, but they don't have caps showing. So I'm guessing it's going to be very similar to how the Guardian ranks worked in Borderlands 3, which was at first you're getting huge bonuses out of them, 1%, 2%, full percentages. But as you get higher in the tree, as you continue, once you get to like 50 extra gun damage, 50 points in there, maybe they're going to be down to 0.1% adding. That's how the Guardian. Oh, right here. That's how the Guardian ranks worked in Borderlands 3. Was at first you were getting a percent and a half for every point you put in, and then once you got up to about 10%, you saw a lot less of a return for investing points in it.
Sorry, that was supposed to be a warning shot. Oh no, evil doers, whatever shall I do?
But what do I know? Who knows?
Tree. Time for a
Tomorrow should be fun though. We're gonna have a some. I do want to play the new DLC. I want to play through it on Chaos level 20, but we'll see what happens. A lot of it will depend on how strong I feel my characters are. Wow, I was just getting whipped there. Wow. Another crab. Yeah, a lot of crabs. I'm getting in a pincer attack here from the crabs and from the sharks. I probably should have taken the crabs out first. Wow, that hurt. Another drop. We're getting some halfway decent drops. I would like to be able to see a legendary volatile next to a legendary chaotic so I can see the difference in the light pillar, but my goodness. Guys, cut me some slack here, would you? That is not a chaotic legendary, it's just a regular one. Graveborn and Berserker. I'll probably hang on to that just simply because you never can tell. I want to see what the, sometimes these armors have some interesting stacks. What I have found out about the armor, by the way, is they drop in every fruit flavor you can think of. Regardless of your build, there's a possibility it could drop as a Spore Warden Graveborn or whatever, it's... So every piece of armor can drop in every fruit flavor of your character classes. So if you're farming for one in particular, don't give up. They do exist. Alright. So the spell swords, Calamity of the Unyielding Bow. is a Stabomancer spell shot. Guess I'll hang on to it. We'll see. See, like, that is obvious. That is chaotic. This is not. You can just tell by looking at the light pillar on it, right? Yeah. I don't think I can... I know the difference between a volatile and a chaotic yet. And maybe they have the same light pillar. I have no idea. But and the same sound made. In reality, they shouldn't have the same sound. It should be like a bigger, badder sound if you get the volatile version. But maybe they don't. Maybe I'm putting too much behind what I think Gearbox has done. And it'll all change tomorrow anyway when we get our new Ascended and whatever weapons. There's some stuff over there to pick up. We are still saving money towards our SDU upgrades too, guys. We are getting closer to completing the bank. That's the bank and the lost loot stuff is exceedingly important to me because those are universal across all of your characters. I will never have to max those out again once I max them out. So every penny I'm making right now, I'm putting towards that.
Let the magic begin.
The ammo upgrades are not universal. I will continually have to upgrade ammo. He is not here, Ash. I'm sorry. That's why I can't make that happen. He was with me about an hour ago, and then he got up and left. So I don't know where he is. Whiskey! Come here, Whisk. Whiskey! And he doesn't come when called. There's another thing. Okay, Bear. Thank you for lurking. Always appreciate you being here, buddy. Okay, instead of the pincer stuff, I'm going to take out these crabs first, because I got pincered last time, and that was pretty vicious. So let's take out the crabs first. Down he goes.
Welcome back, my cranial companion. I may not share power, but
Pain?
all day.
There's Mr. Bosco. How you doing, buddy?
Well, yeah.
I'm trying to get through my them nerfing my character twice. Boy, I'm still getting whipped. How are things in beautiful Oswego today? Well, you have a lot going on. Your wife has invited Allison and I down when you guys move, by the way. So that might have to happen. But honestly speaking, before you guys move, we should really get together. And you and Brummel will be together again. That's gonna be that's a sign of the apocalypse right there, is you two getting back together. If there's a sign that the world's coming to an end, it's you and Brummel spending time together again, being within driving distance of each other. Have you told him? Yeah. Memphis is a nice place.
Oh, I've still got
Wonder how many times he's eaten at Jerry Lawler's barbecue on Beale Street. Knowing him, he probably eats there every week.
I wonder what the best place to bury the movies.
He hasn't. I don't talk to him as much as I used to. He sends us a Christmas card every year, but I haven't talked to him in a while. I think I talked. Last time we exchanged texts, I think was around Christmas time.
Well, that went about as I expected.
Mr. Big Time librarian over there in Memphis. He's got no time for us little people anymore.
You're quite a little killer, aren't you?
You guys are happy. I think you'll be happy down there. Nashville's beautiful. I used to date a girl that moved to Nashville, and I visited her several times down there, and it's a nice place, very nice place. Okay.
Hey, there's my little
No
piece
drop.
burning. Ready to cast.
They have a full replica of the Parthenon there from Athens. Pretty nice zoo, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, downtown Nashville is an experience. All the country and western bars and things like that. It's not like Chicago, where downtown is like this huge area. That downtown Nashville is basically a street. And they have like the Predators Stadium right there and everything. Nice place. Very nice place. We almost moved there last year. But we didn't, Allison didn't get the job, so we didn't move, obviously. She's still talking about Florida though, so maybe we'll move down there. We'll see.
Time for a spell.
Bachelorette parties. Well, if you like cowboy boots, they have a lot of places there to buy cowboy boots.
Welcome back, my cranial companion.
I want to say one of the times I was there, I went into one of those cowboy boot stores, and it was buy one get one free on everything. And I picked up a pair of cowboy boots, and they were like $800. And I thought, well, for $800, it better be buy one get one free. You're not going to get any cowboy boots? Daylight and cowboy boots? I can see that. I bet your wife gets some cowboy boots.
Hell, don't you look feisty. Oh, party now. Hardly a chance.
There's a drop. Legendary. It doesn't look like it's anything big though. We'll take a look at it.
Finally, that's full down. Hey!
Who you're trying to get the respect from? Nashvillians?
Daisy?
It's gonna beg me to answer the question. How much time have you spent down south in your days? Because I can tell you, They'll respect you more if you get cowboy boots.
No, that's fine. He smiles all
As long as you don't go completely over the top, you know, like pummeling class ring of the Panther's lunge. There's no such thing as downtime in a good rotation. Companion critical hit damage. Not that good. I'm gonna get rid of it. Well, y'all go. You should buy cowboy boots together. You and Anna go together to buy cowboy boots, and then it'll be buy one get one free, and then you get a pair and she gets a pair, and you'll get your matching gun holsters, and y'all be like regular Tennesseans.
we work this out so we all walk away. Leaving me walking away rich. Cracking.
It's kind of funny that Nashville is still as small as it is with all the celebrities that live there. A lot of country and western singers still live down there. Crap.
You really thought you were going to win, didn't you? Way to finish him off.
That's true. You'll find that. Property values down there. Honestly, in Nashville, I want to say property values are pretty high in Tennessee, in Nashville, for Tennessee and Nashville. Because we looked. But, I want to say Nashville's probably the most expensive property in Tennessee. But it wasn't like it was, anything more expensive than what you see here.
All right, now it's a party. Ready? Cast.
You think you're going to rent or you're going to buy a house? Yeah. I can tell you that the last time I was there, I visited a little suburb called Murfreesboro. It was a little bit outside of there, and they had a good game store there. It wasn't a GameStop, it was a mom and pop retro game store in Murfreesboro. That's where I bought my Genesis copies of the X-Men games. And I was like, I found them with the boxes, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy to get these. And the guy was like, what's such a big deal about this? And I said, well, dude, don't you understand? It's a licensed game, so Sega can't put this out now. So the fact I can find them with the boxes, they won't be on any Genesis collections unless it's licensed out again to Sega. This is a big deal. So I was pretty happy to get those. I don't know if it's still open though, because of we've had a pandemic since then. So who the heck knows? But it was a cool game store. I liked going in there. Back in the day. Gosh. Yeah, I congratulated your wife, and she's like, yeah, you should totally visit when we move down there. And I said, okay. Said I'm sure we can do that.
Let's go out and burn something down.
Look at you, Platinum Returnal. I have 2 Platinum trophies. You want to take a guess which game or games I have my Platinum trophies on without looking? Because you have me as a friend on PSN. I have 2 Platinum trophies. That is incorrect.
Let's go out and burn some stuff.
It is not Borderlands. Any Borderlands game. I do not have the platinum on any border. Nope.
Things and one other thing.
I don't have any Borderlands platinums. My platinums are both the PS4 and PS5 versions of Ghost of Tsushima. Those are my only platinum trophies. Yeah, if I sat down and actually looked at the Borderlands 3 trophies, I'm pretty sure I could get them all. I don't know what I'm missing to get all of them. And I'm not entirely certain that would be good content for people, for me just doing that for the platinum, but who knows? Infamous Second Son is a great game. I don't have the platinum on that one either. But that is a great game. Imagine that, another Sucker Punch game. Goes to Tsushima and then Infamous. All Sucker Punch. It's so funny when you think about it. Naughty Dog and Insomniac get all the love from fans, but Sucker Punch is like the MVP. They do great games, and not a lot of people know who they are. They don't have the press behind them that a Naughty Dog has. But I think Sucker Punch makes better games.
Oh no, evil doers, whatever shall I
I mean, for my money, Ghost of Tsushima was Game of the Year last year, and it wasn't even close. Got what, Ghost, Resident Evil, Guardians of the Galaxy needs to be in that conversation, but geez.
do? An opportunist. Charmin as ever, bonehead.
Ooh. They really need to get me some new weapons. Tomorrow I hope there's some really good weapons that they put into the game, where I can boss again. I liked the village quite a bit, quite honestly. Unfortunately, it got worse after the castle. That's why I don't think it's quite Game of the Year, is that the castle was most of the game. And that part was... Oh, there's a Titan Tooth. But the stages after the castle were definitely lacking compared to the rest of the game. Except, you know, I know people like the doll stage quite a bit. But I liked Village. I played Village several times on stream. Heck, I beat it in Village of Shadows mode.
Back in business.
That's how much I liked that game, is I actually went back and played it and beat it on the hardest difficulty. And let me go ahead and tell you, if you get a chance to do that, don't. It is the opposite of fun. Yeah, I figured you'd like. You said you liked that area, but for me it was like after the castle, the game wasn't as good after that. It's like they had a great idea for a game and they put so much time into the castle they forgot the rest of the game until the end. which is a very Japanese thing to do, quite honestly. Where they have a great idea and they spend so much time on a part of it they forget about the rest of the game. The only problem with the manor with the puzzle in the basement is it's the same every time. There's no skill involved with it. It's just memorizing where to go next. As opposed to the castle and everything after that, the manor. Everything is 13 million bucks. Everything is skill based in the rest of the game. Yeah, if it were the puzzle and there were still combat in it, and they wouldn't take away your weapons and you still had to kill stuff, I think it would have been better. I don't mind logic puzzles, I really don't. Bank. Alright. There's a lot of bank upgrades. But the fact that they didn't do that, and it's just they took your weapons away, and it's just a standard walk here, get this, walk there, do that. First of all, it's scary and it's creepy, and that I do love that about that game. That's just great stuff. But otherwise, it really needed some combat in there to liven it up a little bit. Some actual combat, not just running away from a big gelatinous baby. Which was also exceedingly creepy. But if you ever play it on Village of Shadows mode, the hardest part is the Chris Redfield stuff. Because you don't get to choose your weapons. Maybe I will one day. If I get tired of this, I have Kirby over there, and I haven't even opened it yet. It's still in the cellophane. I'd love to play it, but I've heard that I need to be well known for playing a certain game before I can start branching off into doing a lot of other games. So stick with Wonderlands for now until I get to the point where I can't get any better at it, and then we'll play Kirby probably. Although, this summer when they do Ninja Turtles, don't be surprised if I do a lot of Ninja Turtles content over the summer. There's a drop, but it's not. It's a legendary, but it's not a chaotic drop. Holy crap.
What you want, a tree?
I mean, I'll be honest about Returnal. I have Hades for the Switch. And I played that for about a week and a half, and I love the idea of it. But I hate not being able to start with your stuff. It is, or any progression. It's like you start completely over, kill the same bosses over and over and over. And I need progression. I need. At least the Far Cry stuff, I get what they were going for that, and it worked. And you did get permanent upgrades, and the roguelike stuff, oh, You have good news. Oh, in Returnal? That's good.
I'm broke, otherwise.
But how many are there? Because in the Far Cry stuff, it was you had to, it was easy to get the early upgrades. You had to work for the later ones, but that's just how it went. And I enjoyed the Far Cry downloadable contents. Far Cry 6. Those were well done. Six. There were a lot of upgrades in the Far Cry downloadable. I really I enjoyed those quite a bit. I didn't think I would, but I did. I enjoyed them quite a bit. Damn. I'm trying to get my ammo back up there. There's 5 more upgrades to the bank. I am definitely going to take advantage of that. Get all those up there. Now you can talk to me about it anytime you want to. Or you want to talk to someone who's experienced it as well, is what you're saying. Because I've had the game for a year, so... If I haven't beaten it and done the story stuff and you spoil it for me, oh well. I've had my time with it. Back up to 580 rounds in my pistol, that's good. Let's loot this. And then oh, come on. Alright. Oh, wait, we did get a weapon there. What was it? It was the Rain of Arrows, but it's not a chaotic version. Is it better or worse than this one? It's actually better. Okay. A metaphor. A metaphor for grief.
We're like 2 peas in a pod, 2 bullets in a mag, 2 things in one other thing.
Thing. Oh, we're going to get another rank here pretty soon. Yeah, I get, I think that's cool. Metaphor for grief. And I think we all deal with grief in a different way. Depends on the kind of grief, too.
Finally, that cooldown took ages.
Yeah, I know. You've been telling me about it.
You can't be serious. This is my competition. Alright, now it's a party.
Ah! Kill the crabs. Kill the crabs.
I may not share power, but pain I'll share all day.
There's our mythic rank. Oh, come on. You're a horse's rear end. Morning, Lucky. How you doing, buddy? There's a drop. It is not a chaotic drop. At least I don't think it is. Take a look at it. Well, you've been working a lot, so I understand that. You work a lot. Yeah, that's just a regular... it's not chaotic. What is it? It's a barrel maker. I'm going to sell that. No one cares about a stupid spell. That isn't volatile or chaotic. Pretty sure I have a better version of that anyway. We did get a mythic rank. Let's see what we're going to put that in. It's probably going to be... Oh, I've maxed out fire and all that. I'm doing intelligence now. And then I'll do these others. And spell damage will be last, the capstone for it. Status effect chance will be after I max out intelligence. So, and this I'm just go ahead and doing melee and all that. Because I don't use melee very often. How's work going this week? I know you've been busy. Hope you're holding out okay. Because you're, what, 6 days this week, 12 hours a day. It'd be a good paycheck, though. If I had a chaotic rain of arrows, that wouldn't be a bad thing. That was a drop. That's a good drop. Something volatile dropped. We'll check that out in just a second. Another volatile drop. All right. Or another chaotic drop, I mean. I don't know if it's volatile or not. That's luck right there. I don't know what they are. Hopefully they don't suck. Alright, that's a legendary drop, but that's not going to be what I want. Slammin' Salmon of Mirth. Big old salmon. Were you exposed to them? I hope not. Seems to be people are getting COVID a lot lately. A couple of my friends online that stream have managed to contract it. So you're certain they have COVID, or that doesn't sound right. Are you saying they have COVID or they don't have COVID?
Is it possible I'm too good?
All right, there's that's a drop, I think, of something. Nope. Okay, let's take a peek at what dropped over here. We have 2 chaotic drops. I don't know what they are. The Dragon's Overflow Blood Bag of Obsession. Fire and Clobbringer Power. Gun reload speed. Health is full. Well, who's to say? People call off sick all the time that they can get sick. I mean, that's just how it works. And our second second chaotic drop. Let's see what this is. Looks like it's a gun, and it's a Thunder Anima. Ooh, that's actually an upgraded of this. So I'm going to take that. And now that it's chaotic, I'm going to try to use it and see what happens with it. This is one of the newer weapons in the game. Well, you know, they make those tests if they actually have COVID. It'll have nothing to do with them not wanting to work. I mean, let's be honest, no one really wants to work. I want to work so I can make money. That's the only reason why. I'm not like begging to go back to work because I love doing it so much. Okay. Alright, so let's see what this gun, how this gun performs as chaotic. This is a chaotic gun, so it's going to be a little better than what I've been using here. So, let's see how it performs here. I've heard it's a good mobbing weapon, so let's find out. Actually, it's kind of lacking there too, isn't it? I know it ricochets. I guess it could be worse, but it could be better too. Do you like working, or do you just like making money? There's a difference between working, liking working, and then making money. Yeah, I don't... It's an okay weapon. This is an okay weapon, but it's not that good, so I'll go back to using this. Because even when, in the event that I go back to work, I would love, even if it's a job that I want, I know that I'm going to like the money a lot more than the work. Because that's why it's called work and not play. Unless all of a sudden I can turn this into something and I can play to make money. But I need a lot more support for that. Which reminds me, we got another sub yesterday. So we're up to what? 16 subs for the month. Father Shaner, thank you so much. I don't look at a farm as necessarily being work as much as it is doing things you have to do. But then again, I look at work as the crap that I've done. I've never had a job that I really enjoyed, so at least not in its fullest. I did enjoy talking to people about video games when I worked at GameStop, but GameStop decided that that was not going to fly. They wanted it to be more of a high pressure sales than it was about building up a relationship with customers. But I've ranted about that quite a bit, so I'm not going to do that today. Kill you there, kill you there. If I ever had a job I really enjoyed, that would probably be different, but all I've ever had are crappy jobs. There's our great white. This will probably be our last farm of him. We'll move on to another one after this. Just because I'm trying to see what kind of drops we get from each one. But we have gotten some good, some decent chaotic drops today, so I think that's cool. Nothing volatile, though. We haven't had any volatile legendaries drop at all. I will play with my Spore Warden offline today when I get a chance. Like I said, I have some stuff in real life I need to do today once I get off of here. I got to take the deep fryer downstairs and down to our cellar and things like that. Got to jump the boss's car. Battery's dead on that, so I need to help with that. Otherwise, I'll spend some time doing some good old-fashioned playing around with the Spore Warden, because I did find that Spore Warden Graveborn build, and I want to see how that turns out. Oh, hi, Titan Tooth. And like I said, we might do an afternoon stream tomorrow for the new DLC. We will see how that turns out. I want to spend some time playing it, and I always like doing blind playthroughs with you guys. So if I can swing it tomorrow, we might play for 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon, just as a celebration for the DLC coming out, which would be nice. We'll see what happens, though. I could wake up tomorrow and feel completely different about it. So, but I'll definitely let everybody know. Don't forget, the DLC for this comes out tomorrow. I did learn the 7th character class is not coming tomorrow. So that will not be part of the DLC. If it was, they would have announced it by now. The 7th character class will be released at a later date because it's part of the season pass. It's not part of the first DLC. I don't know if they're going to increase the level cap. I don't know. Yeah, and I can't boss for anything with this character, so we'll see how that turns out.
Well, look what the cat coughed up.
Okay, got that. Let's, we've farmed him quite a bit. Let's see. Let's try... I farmed that one quite a bit. I farmed this one. I farmed this one quite a bit too, but let's play with this one. I tried the build, and it didn't work for me. I didn't have all the gear that they wanted, so I'm glad they found it. And it works really well for them, but it didn't work as well for me as it did for them. Until we get to a point in this game where gear becomes readily available, it's going to be very difficult to make a build and maintain a build video like that, because it's basically we're scrounging. We're still scrounging for what we have.
My faithful minion has arrived. Shocking, isn't it?
It's more than guns, though. It's also armor, it's wards, it's all this extra stuff. And until gear becomes readily available, like through farming, it's going to be difficult to make comparative build videos like that. Without it, at this point, the only build videos that are really going to work out for most people are going to be the ones that are skill tree based. Those are the only ones, because no one has access to all the same gear. And some folks are like, oh, I got so lucky. I have a volatile, you know, this and a volatile that. It's like, I don't. I've had 2 volatile items drop for me since since the game came out. So until the gear becomes readily available for everybody. Yeah. It didn't work for me the way that it did for him, but I found another companion video for Spore Warden and Graveborn. So when I get off of here today, I'm gonna have to beat the game with my Spore Warden and then play around with that. Whew. There was a lot there. That's true. I really want there to be a gunner class. I'm like begging that the seventh character class is a gunner. I really want there to be a class where it excels at using guns, and there's just not that yet. And I think it's because they are worried about what happened with Mose. Because Mose was insanely overpowered when Borderlands first came out, and they had to nerf the crap out of her to make her more viable compared to everybody else. Honestly, I think they're going to have to do something with the Clawbringer class. And I do think that there's going to be a piece of gear or there's going to be a weapon tomorrow that's going to really complement Clawbringer. But as of right now, or they're going to buff Clawbringer. They really need to do something with the Clawbringer class, because right now it's not good, and there's not a lot. And instead of nerfing, they need to buff some stuff. Because as it stands, everything is more powerful than Clawbringer. And the fact that I can't boss right now because of the nerfing is kind of insane. Not just because of what they did to Clawbringer, because of what they did to the liquid cooling. And if they still had another gun I could use to boss, that would be fine. But I don't have another gun I can use to boss. Legendary drop right there. Why did she drop? Diamond Guard Sword of Acceleration. That's crap. Get rid of it. And we also have that. But that's going to be an issue with the game until it's not balanced right now. It's completely balanced against anyone who made a Clawbringer. And that's going to be a problem that they're going to have until they either need to nerf every other character in the game, or they need to buff Clawbringer. And I would prefer them buff Clawbringer, because if they nerf every other character in the game, they're really going to have some problems keeping people playing. Because there's a term they use in wrestling when a character just isn't doing well, when a guy's just not doing well, and it's not resonating with an audience. They call it "go away heat," where it's Yeah, people are booing him, but it's not because they want to boo him. It's because they don't. It's the character's not resonating, and they're bored with the character. It's not good character. Uh, this game could get a lot of go away heat if they don't do something to make it more playable for people who don't play online and don't co-op a lot. They could get a lot of go away heat. Because if a game is so difficult that you can't complete Chaos Chambers, people will move on and do something else. They'll play something else. They'll play it to a point, and then it'll get so difficult they go, okay, well, I reached my limit.
Heads up, we got company.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's what will happen. Is right now they are trying to.
You should have touched.
That's what I was saying yesterday. I think they're trying to force people to play online, and most people don't play online. It's just they just don't. It's especially with console. It's not something that a lot of people like to do. They want to be able to play the game at their own pace, enjoy the game on their own terms, like I do. I want to enjoy the game, and I don't want to have to, at this point, be beholden to saying, well, I'd like to play Wonderlands, but I need 2 other people at least to play for me to be able to get any farther in the game. And I think that's what they're running into with this. And they're trying to force people to play online like they did with the whatchamacallits, the raids, the Maliwan raid takedown and stuff. That was them trying to make people play with everybody else. And it wasn't until a couple of months later they realized no one was doing it because they were forcing people to play their way. And there's one thing I know about gamers is they want to play their way. They don't want to play based on how they're being told to play. They want to play at their own pace and play with their own characters, and you know, that's just how it is with gamers. Is we want to do things on our own. We want to do things how we want to do them, and we don't want to have to worry about the fact that well, there's a weekly nerf coming. So who the heck knows what they're going to do? What'd you drop? That is a skillful shell casting ring of the broken hand. Stop habitually reloading. Currently equipped gun is low on ammo and effects are increased by 50%. Okay, I'll get rid of that. Not necessarily my thing, because I reload a lot. Of course, this TDR I don't reload as much because I throw it. One thing I'll say about this game is the TDR weapons, they have definitely upgraded them as compared to Borderlands 3. They kind of felt like cheap gimmicks in Borderlands 3, but in this game they actually feel viable, that there's good things that happen when you use them. The Bone Zone.
Ready to crack some skulls? Awaits offensive.
We're about to get another mythic rank. That's a good thing. Get the mythic ranks up, baby. But I think there's going to be some stuff that's answered tomorrow for certain. I still think there's going to be a shoot a drop with the Clawbringer. Something's... First of all, let's not forget what they did this week. They could always undo next week, tomorrow. They really could. They could say, well, we did it with the best of intentions, but due to backlash, we're going to put everything back the way that it was. They could honestly do that anytime they wanted to. What they undid, they could undo. I don't think they're going to, but I think that part of the DLC tomorrow is going to be something, hopefully, to make the Clawbringer a better class. Because right now it's not. And I'm not entirely certain I like a lot of the other classes just yet, but we'll see. Let's see. If that's what they're gonna do, that's not gonna work. You can't make people want to purchase your product if you're going to insist they play a specific way. Borderlands is not that kind of game. It never has been. It's always been more about freedom and choosing and getting your, making a character your way and playing your way. And if they're going to try to make people focus on that, on their play style, they're going to find out that it's not going to work. Right. I get that's what he thinks, but there's a drop. I'm just saying, if that's what they think, if that's their mentality, that they're trying to make this a spell forward game only, and that guns are completely secondary, that they're going to find out that it's not going to work out for them. What is this? Lich's head of the snake. Lich's head of the snake of the raging bear. That's interesting name. There's a lot of ofs in there. Periodically teleports faraway Hydra companions next to the Fate Maker. Okay. If they want people to continue playing this for the next 2 years, the way that people did Borderlands 3, they're going to have to loosen up and allow people to play the way that they want to play. That's just all there is to it. Oh, I didn't even see what that was. I should look at that. There should be builds for melee, there should be builds for guns, there should be builds for companions, there should be builds for spells, there should be builds for abilities. You know, there should be builds for everything. And I think that something that the mistake that they made with Borderlands 3 was the characters were so powerful, but there were certain builds that were so much stronger than other builds that you didn't see people take Amara, for instance, and use the 4th skill tree all the way down, because the other builds for her were so strong that there wasn't a lot of reason to do that. Toxic body rune, okay. Bone, flesh, teeth. That's just got that. Not chaotic. Hey, Charizard, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. Always appreciate you being here. Inscribe. Rune abilities are shared across all players equipped with a rune ward. Rune, when you kill an enemy, restore 15% of your max health and deal 20% bonus fire damage for a short duration, 10% extra health. I don't know if that's really worth it, though. So we'll have to go sell that stuff off. I think my point is if they're gonna make if Spell Shot is gonna be the creme de la creme, fine. You know, there's always gonna be when you're dealing with this many random things you can do with a character. I completely understand that you're gonna have, you know, when you play Street Fighter 2 or play a Street Fighter game, there's going to be crappy characters. You can't balance everything out perfectly. It's nearly impossible to do when you're dealing with so many random factors. Oh, I know they rushed this game. There's still bugs in it. You're absolutely right. I think they were working on this game for a long time. I'm not entirely certain they knew what they were doing when they decided to do not just having 6 character classes, soon to be 7, but then also allowing you to dual class, because I mean when they were dealing with 4 characters from Borderlands 3, they were having problems balancing the game. But you can't take it out on the players because what you promised you know, we're going to find ways to break everything. That's just how gamers work. Is we're always looking for the most powerful character classes and the most powerful builds and what we can do to break the game. And if they're going to say, well, every time we find something that someone breaks the game with, and we're going to nip it in the bud, then what's the point of trying to have a powerful build? There's no point in playing. There's no point in looking for the best of the best. There's no point in it because they're just going to nerf it in a week anyway. Every game is rushed now, for the record, and that's I've been gone over that to death. I think on stream before that every game is rushed. The internet is as great as it is, has done a lot to hinder the development of games because games are no longer released when they're done. They're released when they have to be released for financial reasons. And then they'll say, well, we'll just fix it after we bring it out. And the best example I have of that is when the Xbox 360 came out. I'm a big baseball fan. I'm sure people who have spent time with me here on stream know I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. My girlfriend is a big New York Yankees fan. She was married at one point, and she actually got married at Yankee Stadium. They married her on the field at Yankee Stadium during a baseball game, and so we're big baseball fans here. I bought on the Xbox 360 the first 2K baseball game, and I couldn't wait to play it because I wanted to see how it looked. It was a bit, you know, the graphics were a big deal back then. I couldn't wait to play it. I couldn't wait to see it. So I bought the game, I got it home, I ripped it open. I was working at GameStop at the time. Stuck it in my PlayStation or my Xbox 360, loaded it up, ready to play it, and I could never get past the 7th inning. The game would crash in the middle of the 7th inning every time. I have one hatred in baseball, and it's of the Atlanta Braves. I cannot stand the Atlanta Braves. Not full effects were increased by 100%. But that's because I lived down there in the early '90s, and being a Pirates fan down there, I got made fun of a lot. But anyway, you couldn't get out of the 7th inning of the game. Is my point? Is I would get to the 7th inning and the game would crash. I play a second game, get to the 7th inning and the game would crash. Play a third game, I got to the 7th inning and the game would crash. They fixed it later, but the point of the fact is they shouldn't have released it because the game wasn't ready. If they fixed it 2 weeks later or whatever it was with a hot fix patch, that's fine. But how can you release a broken packaged game at launch like that? You can't do that. That's and it wouldn't have happened on the old Xbox and on the PlayStation 2. They would never have released that. They would have delayed it because they knew that they would have problems. But they knew they could fix it with a hot fix patch. They could download it later. You could download it later, and everything would be fine. And I took the game back and returned it. And I never bought another 2K game, another 2K baseball game through the life cycle of the franchise. They don't even make them anymore. You don't know this, Daylight? I'm from Pittsburgh.
Back in
Or sorry, tell
business.
people anyway. I spent most of my childhood in Pittsburgh.
Hey, hey, there's my little beast of burning.
It's not because I'm a huge Britt Baker fan, but, you know, she doesn't hurt at all. Britt Baker being from Pittsburgh and supporting Pittsburgh sports the way she does. All about that. Well, nobody's perfect, Lucky. I lived I lived outside of Atlanta for a couple years of high school, and it was during the early '90s when the Pirates and the Braves played in the playoffs every year, and I caught holy hell from the kids I went to school with. I thought I told you that I was. Yeah, I lived for 5 years in Pittsburgh when I was in elementary school, and that's how I became a Pirates and Steelers fan.
Place is the best, do ya?
That's correct. She is,
Was that it?
as they say, she is not ugly. Only wish that she was my dentist, that's for certain.
I may not share power, but pain I'll share all day.
But I see she was on at Steelers headquarters yesterday. I don't know if any of the players knew who she was, but I'm sure they all liked the way she looked.
And you worried, didn't I? My faithful minion has arrived.
How did you only just hear her? That's the rumor. There's an AEW game coming out. I'm sure Kenny Omega will be on the cover of it. How did I only just hear about the South? What do you mean I just hear about the South? Oh no, what he means is that he knows that I lived down south for a long time. My
Nicely done.
I've lived all over the eastern United States. I was born in Fort Knox, Kentucky, but I've lived in North Carolina, Arkansas, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Louisiana, back to Arkansas, and then of course Chicago. So I've been all over the bloody place. I moved 11 times before I graduated high school. I'm doing fine, Amanda. How you doing today? What's the weather like down in beautiful Florida today? Hopefully you're just enjoying everything that's going on down there.
Let's see. If I'm here, then that means. Wait, what does that mean?
I do like that about Britt Baker is that she's basically the CM Punk of Pittsburgh. I just love that about her. No matter how big of a heel she is everywhere else in the country, she could murder somebody in the center of the ring with a chainsaw in Pittsburgh and they'd cheer her for it. That's the best part. And she is definitely the CM Punk of Pittsburgh. She can not get booed in Pittsburgh.
My faithful minion has arrived.
83 degrees. 83, nice. Low of 65. Low of 65. I hear that this weekend we're going to get up in the 80s, and I'm here for it. Because the last week or so we have been down at night in the 30s, and I am not here for that. I do not like that cold of weather, especially after Easter. We had snow the day after Easter. I will repeat that for people who didn't hear me correctly. We had snow the day after Easter. And I'm pretty sure it should be said somewhere in the Bible that thou shalt not snow after the resurrection of the Lord and Savior.
Look on your face. You're quite a little killer, aren't you? Oh, it's a party now.
First of all, I love heels. I do. I've always, my history with wrestling is, my brother and I would wrestle, and I would always let him be the babyface. Because he would always beat me. That's what I wanted. Was, we would play and we'd play wrestle, and I would be, I'd be Ric Flair and he'd be Ricky Steamboat or something like that. And so I've always loved heels. But I also would wonder why would they cheer Hulk Hogan for doing the same thing that Ted DiBiase did? Hitting somebody with a steel chair or something. I never understood that. Rule breaking is rule breaking. But we got a Mytherink. But the heels also are really, really. I mean, they basically they're excellent talkers, and Britt Baker is an excellent promo. She really is, and. I'm not saying that because she's easy on the eyes either. She is an excellent promo.
Hardly a scratch.
And is she as good as Charlotte or as Becky Lynch? Yeah, maybe not as far as technical skills go. But I would say verbally she is on par with them for certain. And to me, that's half of wrestling right there, is establishing your character. And you're over when the crowd chants your stuff, when she comes out and they actually do the DMD thing for her, and that's great stuff right there. Matt Be Wild. I'm always the heel. I am heel forward. No. I am definitely a heel, and that's but that's when she really took off. Because if you guys, if anyone who hasn't watched AEW, and if you're not a wrestling fan, I completely understand, because it's male soap opera and everything. But when she was a babyface, she was good, but she wasn't over. She wasn't as big of a deal. She was another extremely beautiful female wrestler who would come out and smile for the crowd, and she got cheers and everything, but she was not one of the best characters on AEW TV. But when she turned heel, her character skyrocketed. She became one of the most entertaining things on the entire show when she turned heel. And that worked out for her very well. So all right, we farmed this guy enough.
My little beast of burning.
Let's go farm somebody else. I would totally be a heel. That's exactly... I am a heel. Because the same thing happened, guys. If you really want to see an evolution of a character, the same thing really happened with CM Punk.
Finally, that cooldown took ages.
People loved CM Punk and him in WWE, and he was a good babyface. But when he turned heel, he got hot. Every time he turned heel, he was
Right, now it's
he was the
time.
hottest heel that they had. And through him being a heel, he actually became a bigger babyface.
You can't be serious.
Just
This is my competition.
and especially in Chicago, and that's what happened with Britt Baker is that because she's from Pittsburgh, every time that AEW is in Pittsburgh, the biggest babyface on the card, whether she's babyface or heel, the biggest babyface on the card in Pittsburgh is always going to be Britt Baker. She can do no wrong in Pittsburgh, and CM Punk in Chicago was the same way. Just look up on YouTube the ring entrance. Jericho's a chameleon. Jericho understands, number one, he's never really a true heel. Jericho anywhere he's been around for so long, he's never going to be a true heel because people aren't really going to boo him. He's what he's doing now with the sports entertainment thing is he's trying to, but he knows he's never going to be there because he's such a character. Everybody knows. Yes, we had snow after Easter, and it sucked. But Jericho is never really a true heel. But he knows how far he can get. Well, yeah, but does Baker? Well, Chicago's a heel town. Chicago likes heels. We've always liked heels here. But she doesn't get as big of a pop as Punk does. Heel is a bad guy, a villain in wrestling. Good guys are baby faces, bad guys are heels. If you ever get the chance, go to YouTube and look up CM Punk Chicago ring entrance John Cena. And it's from I think it was from Money in the Bank several years ago when Punk was wrestling Cena for the championship in Chicago. And Punk was the heel in Chicago. And he was not the heel at all. He was wrestling John Cena, the biggest babyface in the company. And in Chicago, it was exactly the opposite. Is that Punk could not get booed in Chicago at all. Did he? There's no. They're just. I like the thing about. Well, I'm sure they do. It's probably going to be argued that Baker is she still a heel? Is she still considered a heel, or has she just gone completely the other way? Because I know she's getting cheered a lot now. I haven't watched religiously. I just know every time I see her if I get a chance to see her on TV, I want to see what she has to say because she's excellent. Crap. Oh, I'll take it. Cena was the biggest draw in the company back when he wrestled Punk, and in merchandise he was selling like crazy. They get to Chicago and they decide to do it the exact opposite. And it was smart for Cena and Punk to do it. where Punk basically wrestled the entire match as the babyface,
Over here.
and Cena was by far the heel. And that's they were so smart to do it that way. And of course they're friends, so they understood. The same way as no, I can't think of it right now. But yeah, it's you just the oh it no oh it was Rock and Hogan at WrestleMania many years ago, where Rock was supposed to go in as the babyface, and Hogan was the heel, and they were in Canada, and they realized part of the way through the match that they had to go the other way. So Rock started to become the heel, and Hogan, who was supposed to be the heel, had to be the babyface. They're gonna turn on her. Reba's gonna turn, or Rebel is gonna turn on her. You think? You're probably right. That's how they're gonna get heat. They got to get their heat.
Thanks for coming. Oh, I'm not keeping you from something, am I? Of course not. I'm all you've got.
I have no idea what Pigwort drops, but we'll see.
Mate, you just loot waiting to be dropped.
We'll see.
Sorry, that was actually a one.
Oh, she has someone else besides Rebel now? Because Rebel is not an ugly lady either. And you would think that at some point one of them would turn on the other, because that's the way those usually work. I didn't know she had somebody else. Again, I haven't watched. I don't watch as religiously as I used to, so. Whew.
Nicely done.
Don't watch religiously as I used to. I don't have the time. And my significant other does not care for professional wrestling at all, so.
Two peas in a pod, two bullets in a mag, two things in one other thing.
We tend not to watch a lot of it.
Finally, that cooldown took ages. We've got an easy mark over here.
Jamie Hayter. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look that up. Pigwart's kind of a pain in the rear end here.
Detailed map, now that I look at it. How the hell did they chart all this?
Got him. He dropped something. I'll take a look. I will take a look. He dropped something that's at least chaotic. We'll see what he dropped. Like I said, I've only had 2 volatile drops that were legendary so far in the entire game. So my luck is not, even though my loot luck is supposedly exceedingly high, It looks like it's a spell. And it is a spell. The Reviver. Heals allies and revives. Okay, I'll put it in the bank. But I won't use it because I don't really play with a lot of people just yet. Em, how you doing, man? That is correct. I believe it was it Father Shane gifted a sub yesterday? It was very nice of him. As Enigma's very behind on his sub goal this month. Also behind on my follower goal for Twitch as well. I wanted to get to 500 by the end of the month, and we have, what, 10 days left, and I'm still 60-something away. But what can you do? You can't make people do it. Yeah, I think I'm at 16 subs for the month, not 15, so. The gifted one yesterday put me at 16. Can I help you with anything? I don't know, can you? That's chaotic. I'm going to hang on to that. Although chaotic reviver doesn't seem like it would be that.
2 bullets and a mag. 2 things and one other thing.
Ewan. Okay. I will do that, Ewan. And how have things been going for you this week, my friend? Have you been, I know you've probably been busy with work and everything. Pigwort needs to drop something. Basically, we're just trying to see what world drops we can get. I'm not able to do Chaos Chambers until, with this character until something changes, so. At least not the highest difficulty. Because they nerfed me last week. Hopefully they will change some stuff up tomorrow and make it more balanced so we can enjoy the game. That's cool. I don't make assumptions. I just try to treat everybody with respect and dignity and then call them what they want to be called. Ah, kill it. Kill it now. Wow, up very high. Something is hitting me in the... Wow, that... Kill it, kill it, kill it. You're hitting me. Not anymore. Up. Hydration, I must take a drink. Let me ask you a question there, Daylight. Why are you doing this to me all at once? I can't do all the voices at once. Because if I could do it, it's very difficult for me to do all the voices at once. Because it hurts my throat to do all of them at once. I can't. Oh, there's a drop. Can't do all of them at once at all. And every time I do it, some voices are harder to do than others. I can't do them all at once, although it can be difficult. But if I could do it, I would be very good at it, I think. Because we do have Chicago here, and if Pigwart's name was Ditka, I would not be able to beat him at all. Because, Ditka is awesome. Can't do better than Ditka. That was difficult. Do all the voices at once. I'm gonna probably add more. I have to think of what impressions I can do. Whatever impressions I can do is very difficult for me to do them. And whenever I do all of them at once, It's not as easy as you might think it is.
Finally, that cooldown.
Oh my god! Come on, you can't do that to me! Go kill those things! Come on! I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die! Dang, I didn't die.
Nicely done.
I didn't die there. Go me. That's pretty awesome. Just saying, it's hard to do all the voices at once. It's difficult to do all of them. Better off doing one at a time. Oh my god. My backup account on here has 245,000. So, I have a backup account that I keep on here so I can view the chat if something goes wrong with the OBS. Now, we're going to go ahead and loot everything. And I see that is a at least chaotic over there. I swear if that's another volatile spell, I'm going to get really mad. Another...
Nothing like a job
It's just
well
hard to do when you do all of them at once. You know, I can't... I want to give people their money's worth for doing all of them. Got you there. And... Chaotic. Gelatinous Q. Another spell. I have gotten so many freaking drops of spells. I don't need spells. I need guns. I will go to... That's the first thing I do when I'm done streaming is I go to the bathroom. Hydration will come back up though once
Welcome back,
I think it's like a 10-minute cooldown on it. You guys should not cash in all those things. That would be bad. If I cashed in all my voices at once. The one I'm most known for is the Arnold. I do the Arnold pretty well.
Cost.
And the cookies. I have the cookies. Put my cookies down. They're my cookies. Who said you could have my cookies? The one I need to work on the most, though, is
Don't you look
Connery,
nice,
probably. My Connery is just passable.
ready to crack some skulls? Awaits offensive.
We're still getting drops here.
Platform back.
Look at that. Down you go.
Way to finish him off. Skies raw.
Holy crap. So I saw that they have a new Elgato capture card out there.
Good chance.
I know, I put a 10-minute cooldown on the voices. Because people were spamming them. So once they're used, I only allow them once every 10 minutes. So I can recover from a little bit from them. Some of the voices are harder to do than others. So, you know, do it as good as my Arnold is. It does a number on my voice. And if I do it too much, puts the cookie down. If I do that and it goes, ah, then that takes a number on my throat sometimes. Patrick Warburton is not that bad, so I can do that one pretty easily. Although my buddy, one of my buddies in Malaysia told me the other day I should add Joel Swanson to it. And I said, I already do Joe Swanson. It's Patrick Warburton. Because I don't think he realized that was the voice actor. With Patrick Warburton. That sucked. Kill Pigwort. Kill him. Where is he going? Where did he go? I'm gonna die. Unless I kill that one. I got it!
Let's go. Round two.
Good lord.
You old so-and-so.
That was crazy. Got that, okay. Another
This
pickaxe.
is a bloody detailed map now that I look at it. How
Bunch
the
of-
hell did they chart all this?
Just a bunch of stuff to sell. Nothing really worth looting. Just stuff to sell. Bunch of crap. My Kermit could probably use some work too. I know that there's a commercial that comes on TV where it's he's saying, you know, look at me, here I am, right where I belong. I can do that pretty well, which is amazing because I can't sing. What's funny?
You look feisty.
That I put a cooldown on it, or that I can do the voices, or... Well, no, I can do Meatwad. Well, Meatwad did the dang thing. That's what we'll do next. Is we'll do some Meatwad as an impression. Actually, my Meatwad probably sucks.
Ready to cast.
Oh, you're kidding. I'm not... They put me all the way back here. Okay, let's, Weep Wild Dankness. Da 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 da.
Let the magic begin. Come along now, my little Ember.
Come on, little Ember. Boy, oh boy, doing those voices really does a that really does do a number on my voice. My normal talking voice, it does a number on it. Okay. Down. We should be able, hopefully, to get one more mythic rank today before we move on. Before we done today. We'll see. Maybe not.
I showed them how to do that.
Ah! You are a horse's rear end. The thing, there are different versions of Patrick Warburton. That's the thing, is he is a very good voice actor himself. And, like, if I could do his more mannerisms of Brock Sampson, I think that would be best. But I think my Patrick Warburton is more like Kronk and more like Joe Swanson than it is Brock Sampson. I don't do the tough guy Patrick Warburton as well.
That one's mine. Don't touch that loot.
Oh my. Okay. I could probably voice the Joker pretty good though. If I ever had the opportunity, I could probably do that really well. But I also love Patrick Warburton. On Netflix, if you ever watched the Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events TV show, that's just a funny show. First of all, because Neil Patrick Harris is Count Olaf, and he's freaking hilarious in it. But Patrick Warburton is Lemony Snicket. He's basically the narrator of the whole thing. And he just comes out and
an opportunist. Every man.
No, I would soon. Maybe we'll do it sometime soon. I would have to really work on it. It's not as simple. The thing about doing impressions is and I think I've said this before, but if I haven't, and if I have, forgive me for repeating myself. It's not about being able to do the impression. If if you're gonna do a Randy Savage impression, everyone does their own version of Macho Man, right? Yeah, but you have to be able to do oh yeah. If you can't do oh yeah, why would you bother doing Macho Man? There's no point in doing it. So you can do get to the chopper, and you can do all those things. Puts my cookie down. You could do all those things, but it's not necessarily about being able to do voice bits. It's about, can I go into the McDonald's and can I order a quarter pounder with cheese and have a large Coke and the order of fries to go with it? That's the secret of doing a good impression, is being able to hold a conversation as that character. And if I can't do that, I don't know if I really want to expose it, if that makes complete sense. But if I were, it would be something kind of like this. But I'd have to work on it. It's about, like I said, it's about holding a conversation, being able to say anything. And I try not to do an impression, at least I don't, I'm going to say sell. I don't sell impressions because I don't do voice work. But I don't put them in my channel points unless I'm pretty confident that I can at least hold a part of a conversation as one of those impressions that I do. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it. And it's another reason why I don't put Macho Man on there, is because sometimes I can do much and sometimes I can't. And sometimes I can't get oh yeah down. And if you can't do oh yeah, then what's the point? You shouldn't. Gotta do oh yeah.
Oh God, the look on your face.
Now I'm pretty confident I could walk into a restaurant and do an order as Patrick Warburton. Yeah, I'll have the chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes. I'll have that, and I'll have a Diet Coke. And if you have any lime juice to put in there, that'd be even better. I can do that. But I can't. Other impressions, I'm not entirely certain that I can do. I'm not entirely certain I can hold that conversation that way. You know, it'd be really good is some pancakes. If you could bring me a short stack of pancakes with some maple syrup, that would be really good. Well, we got a legendary drop down there. That's from the obelisk boss. Don't know quite what he's got there, but we'll... Okay. Well, that's a lot of drops. There's something else down there, too. You. Ooh, that's a world drop of something. What is it? What is it? That is a chaotic focused finger ward lament. I name you warded of the south. It's chaotic though, so I guess I need to hold on to that. Guess I need to hang on to that for the time being, because I don't know if they're gonna do something with that or not. There we go. Hang on to that. Don't sell it. Got there. I will say that cashing in the points and having me do the impressions does make me better at them. I was not sure I could do Patrick Warburton very well until I put it up there. Look at that. Gun damage. Critical hit damage. That's a great piece of armor. I'm going to put that in the bank. That's a great thing. Get rid of that. Take that. Oh, there's a cosmetic item. What is that? Already known, but it's a cosmetic. So yeah, that's my view on doing impressions. Is I want to make sure I can do them regularly, but with some chutzpah to them, and be able to hold a conversation instead of just doing infinite sound bites of. Because I mean, with that I could just push a button.
I feel magical.
I saw the Jim Carrey movie. I've seen that. I've never read any of the books. But when I saw that they were doing a version, the Netflix version, and they had cast Neil Patrick Harris as the Count Olaf character, I said that's probably going to be pretty good, because it's just really well done, and Neil Patrick Harris basically puts himself into everything. And in the Netflix show, basically, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Count Olaf is the villain of Lemony Snicket, and he's trying to get the fortune of the children. The children's parents are dead; they have a big fortune to inherit, and Count Olaf is constantly trying to negotiate his way into becoming the sole heir of the fortune. So Neil Patrick Harris, every 2 episodes, is a different character. He is Count Olaf, but Count Olaf acting like somebody else. Count Olaf is an actor. So he's constantly, and one he's one character, and then in the next couple episodes he's a different character completely. But in the intro song to each show, yes, he is a great actor. In the intro song to the intro of every episode, there's a portion of every intro that he sings in character as the character he's portraying Count Olaf being in that episode. So if Count Olaf is dressed up as a woman, he sings part of the intro song as that woman character, and that, to me, that's just great. That it's attention to detail, and it's just really funny. It's a kids show, it really is, but it's not bad. It's actually quite entertaining because of the cast. The cast is what carries that show by far. The smallest, the guest stars in there are also big names. Like Joan Cusack is in it, and like I said, it's Patrick Warburton is in it. It's all these names that you'll recognize the people right away as the guest stars. So, I think it's 3 or 4 seasons. So if you're ever bored on a weekend and you want something to watch and tie up some time that's going to entertain you, I'd recommend it. Not high art by any stretch of the imagination, but it's entertaining, it's funny, and it's well done. They could tell the people who did it cared about the source material, which is something Hollywood is desperately lacking right now, is taking care of caring about source material. This will be our last run today of this, I think. And then we will, because it's lunchtime and I am hungry hippos. So let's run this last time, and then we will shove off for the day. Now remember, tomorrow I'll be back here in the morning playing this, and I think as long as these stars align the way I want them to, I'll come back in the afternoon for us to play the downloadable content and experience what that has to offer for us. So I hope that if you're around, it's kind of an experiment for me, because I limited my my time
How the hell do they check all this?
streaming because no one was watching me in the afternoon. So I just kind of was like, well, if it's hurting me, why am I still doing it? So I kind of decided to step back and limit my streaming. Tomorrow will be a little bit of an experiment to see if I will still experience the growth that I have been experiencing since I limited in the afternoon. And if we do well in the afternoons, I might do more of them. And because the idea is to do this for a living, everybody. That'd be nice. I've never been to Disney at all. I've been outside of Disneyland, but I've never been in it, and I've never been in Disney World either. I don't think I think I might have been to Orlando once, but I don't remember it. I know I've been to Florida a couple of times. Usually it's before cruises, but Orlando is Central Florida, so there would be no reason for me to go there for a cruise or anything. But we are talking about it. Maybe visiting, because her family, a lot of her siblings now live in Florida, so we might move down there at some point. We'll see. It'll depend on the job market here. And what happens here. If she gets a really good, well-paying job, then obviously we're staying here, but until retirement at least. But if the job market doesn't open up some for mid-level and senior-level people the way that we are with our experience, then we'll probably go somewhere new. But we will have to wait and see. Give me your trash. Got you. There's our monstrous shroom down there. He's the boss coming out of the obelisk. Did we kill him already? No, we didn't. There he goes. Another legendary drop. Oh, and I got a perk. Okay. Let's put the perk myth rank into... We're down here again, so it's got to be magazine size for the time being. Another slamming salmon. Get rid of that. But I will... Let's go ahead and go back and sell this stuff off, and then we will raid out to somebody. We're gonna have to wait and see. Cruises are great, Amanda. Especially if you worked in customer service the way I did. I have a lot of funny stories about me being on cruises. Remind me tomorrow and I'll tell you some. They're great, cheap vacations.
We're like 2 peas in a pod, 2 bullets in a mag, 2...
For the money, you usually can't do better than a cruise as far as vacations go. Because you invest so much money, and then you get good food. You can eat whenever you want. You have unlimited water and food. Well, I don't make those decisions, so we'll have to wait and see. There we go. Backpack is empty. Let's take all this. I know she wants to move a little closer to where spring training takes place for the New York Yankees and the Pittsburgh Pirates. I do know that much. We took one right before the pandemic. In January of 2020, we took a week and did a cruise. And then 2 weeks later, they let me go from my job. So imagine that. But we enjoyed that quite a bit. All right, so we've gotten to the point where we're going to raid out to somebody. Let me take a look to see who we can raid out to. Who's available? Who's available to raid out to? We did Tibby yesterday. Let's see. Tommy Gunn is playing Phantasphobia. We'll raid out to him. So thanks everyone for joining me today. I will be back tomorrow. And we're going to go from there. All right, here it goes. Thanks everyone for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it.